What a remarkable family. Had me in tears. I'm tearing up just thinking about it. It's pieces like this when they are done so honestly and without pretension, just to using the film format and the short film format to just get a message out to wake people up. And this certainly did. It made me really reevaluate the honor it is to have your health and to also know that we are not guaranteed another day. So we really should be treating each day with that reverence and that love. And it was remarkable to hear his story and to hear how the family is grappling with it, and also their positivity and their strength and their commitment to one another. I thought was absolutely stunning, and I think this is a really brilliant piece for those who are enduring health issues, especially potentially fatal ones, to gain that perspective. And it's also a really important piece for anybody needing a good wake up to remember how lucky we are to have this gift of being alive and having our health. I thought it was really, really well crafted, great pacing, great variety of perspectives from the subjects and the doctor, family members, and yeah, definitely one that's left an impact on me.
I've seen like a lot of documentaries about cancer, and I think this one is it stands out in particular because there is such a humanized part of this man talking about his journey with it and his bravery, and I think that's really great. But also, you do a great job leaning into information and graphics and getting into the nitty gritty of, okay, we've talked about the emotional aspect, but here are the facts, and here's what we're working up against. And I think that that does a great job of like doubling down on what you're talking about, and it makes the story so much more compelling and easier to follow as well. So I really want to commend you for that. I think you've done a great job of choosing a subject to follow and getting every aspect of it, so it really hits the heartstrings and hits like the logical aspect of the viewer as well. Um, Great cinematography. I think the pacing was great. I think you lay information and graphics where you need to, but it's not overdone. Just a really well-rounded piece.
It's about brain cancer, how it affects you, your family, and coming to terms with an inevitable death. Wade Lewis has one of the most aggressive cancers that has a 100% mortality rate. Wade living longer than the average patient by 20 months. This cancer, the abridged version a little bit, was amazing by the visual effects, giving a clear depiction of essentially staring cancer right in the face. This is about the fight. This is about perseverance, leaving this place better than how you left it, how it's left you. You don't take in all the cancers that exist in the world until you see them scrolling down the list, making you wonder how many of these other cancers face the same mortality rate.
Felt like this is my story, and I'm going to give you the insight on what we got going on right now. And we see this idea of cancer research. We see a story of this man who's going through fighting this terminal disease. We see how it's affecting his family. And this is really a call to action, I feel, for people to allocate funds to cancer research. And it's an impassioned call to action. Um, he wants us to leave brain cancer in a better place than it is now by assuring that more research is geared towards it. And I love his statements of the idea of punching back at a terminal disease and not allowing the fight to leave you just because there's this idea that this is terminal. And we see how this affects his friendships and affects his family and just the strength overall of all of them in telling this story. And it definitely made you want to just do something.
The strength it takes to carry on as he's done with such a diagnosis is just, it's immense. And the face he's able to put on that's displayed here is it's both strong but vulnerable. So just hats off to him and his family for going through all this. And it's just such mind-boggling, like difficult thing that, as much as a viewer, you sympathize, you until you're in those shoes, you just can't. And the great thing about this documentary is it gets as close as you possibly can to just really feeling everything he was feeling, and uh, just just laying it out there, giving us his story, peppering in the science and the history of the disease, and really just giving you a full picture with the human interest element, which goes a long way to just make it more compelling, and just to help spread more awareness, because there's so many types of cancer, and honestly we can't eradicate it soon enough. And the fact that this documentary exists to even in some small effort push towards that goal, I absolutely love it for that. But it was also just really well produced and put together, good pacing, good editing, everything, just all the markings of a great documentary with a just really fantastic subject.
The whole film is so heartfelt and it just exudes strength. This inner strength from within to keep going on. And I loved the story, like learning about him and learning about what he went through was amazing. And I don't know how he's done it. I don't know if I could be that strong. The thing with this film is I got hooked from the music right at the very beginning and the cinematography that they chose. I thought that that was amazing. They did such a good job with that. And then their graphic images, where you learned something. It wasn't just somebody talking about these things, you were actually seeing graphic images about it. So you knew, okay, here's a brain scan, and here's where talking about cancer.
I love the fight for survival that this man has. That he has a doctor who cares. How many people can say that they have a doctor who actually cares about their patients and aren't just doing the job? This is a project that actually shows that he really does care and wants this man to walk his daughter down the aisle, to teach his grandchildren how to fish. Everything he said. The title of it threw me. I thought maybe the documentary wasn't complete, but then it makes sense. The story so far, because this guy is fighting a cancer that he thought he would die from, and he's still living and he's still willing to fight for life. This is such an inspirational story just because of this man and his family and the doctor and everyone involved. It's inspirational that there's always something worth fighting for, and for him, it's his whole life.